We are going to leave the floor to Beliz Kudat again, who will talk again, who will talk with our participants. Are you ready?
Evet, davet edelim konuğumuzu. Sen davet
Our
etmeden çekiliyorum. Kolay gelsin sana.
editorial director will carry on. Beliz will carry on from now on. Okay, thank you very much. Now we are going to UN Women Communications Lead Tayfun Yılmaz. Mr. Tayfun, the floor is yours. Hi, welcome. How are you? Thank you very much. I'm doing great, and you? I'm doing very well too. Let me try to close my notifications. Yes. Here, actually, without further ado, I would like to start with my first question, as I do not want to keep our audience waiting. We will talk about gender equalities as we address inclusion and equality, gender equality a lot at Harvard Business Review, and here we see increased awareness not just in the business world but also in the society, although we know that there is a lot to do, and UN Women here assumes important roles. Can you elaborate a little on what UN Women does in this area? Thank you very much. UN Women, as you know, is a UN institution, assumes a very critical role. We are a very young UN organization, as we were established in 2010, and here having a separate United Nations outlet actually took time as the awareness among the society started to have that. As you know, the safety belts of cars were first designed for men, and because of increased female mortality, they started to adjust it. And when did they realize it? They started to realize it with the introduction of women to the teams designing such safety features. So that's the sort of situation we see in UN Women, as it's a young organization. From 2012, we have been carrying out operations in Turkey as well. As an intergovernmental organization, institution, we work with all the stakeholders to ensure gender equality and empowerment of women, operating in 4 areas of impact: ending violence against women, providing economic freedom and empowerment of women, ensuring that female participation is equal in governance and management, and also ensuring that women take part in the relevant processes more, so that conflicts and crisis can be avoided, are all the areas we contribute. In Turkey, we have more than a few areas. Here, for example, we have budgeting, which pays attention to men and women equality. Also, we have another initiative to design neighborhoods for men and women again. And Astra Type Alliance collaboration again tries to ensure gender equality in the society, in the media, and different channels of communication. Actually, you have brought it to a very great point. Yes, UN Women have very comprehensive efforts and initiatives, but we know that it is very active in terms of ending the violence against women. And here, when it comes to violence and advocacy concerning other matters, we know that it's not easy to create public opinion. So how do you achieve that? How do you point attention to these areas? Which tools do you use? Of course, as you know, all the issues, including the climate crisis, economic difficulties around the globe, and unending wars, all make us think about the rights of women, which faces certain dangers and detriments. Actually, before COVID, it was like 100 years before we can achieve gender equality. Now we talk about 300 years or 3 centuries. And here, the first step is to end the violence. As you know, the United Nations have 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and for each and every one of them, gender equality is a prerequisite. And we know that the prerequisite of gender equality is to end violence against women. And to that end, we ensure that we make use of the latest tools in Turkey, indeed, so that we can create or we can present a co-creation environment. That's how we organize our campaigns, and these campaigns are the first platform we use in terms of creating public opinion and also brand advocacy. If we approach ourselves as a brand, we do it both online and offline. Let me just give you an example about an online initiative. We have this, for example, initiative which helped us say, let's eliminate the environment with fireflies and let's end cyber violence. And here we created a target of 1 million fireflies to ensure that we can have this many stakeholders. And this would be the number of people signing up on the website. And we were able to take it to 300,000 in 1 week. And it went all the way up to 1 million later on. And we tried to enable 70,000 people to take these tests about cyber awareness. This was online, of course, and we said we want to reach every passerby on the street. And let me give you another example. In 2021, we said record your voice against violence and do not be indifferent. And that's why we wanted people to enter this website, şiddetekaygısızkalma.com. This was an online initiative, and gender equality at the end of the day concerns everyone, be it women, men, young girls or boys, and this is the sort of target we can achieve with them. That's why we should not limit it to online platforms. Then we had an installation in Şişhane metro station. We placed a microphone in the middle of that setup so that people can say kadına yönelik şiddete son and see the sound waves. And actually we had another target of placing a 3D printer so that we can get those sound waves recorded, printed, and give it to them. We weren't able to achieve that, but let me say that almost 350,000 metro commuters were accessed by this initiative. So, Eliminate the Darkness campaign with fireflies was, for example, demonstrated in Seymenler, Ankara, and also in Kadıköy, Istanbul. So by starting a contemporary art exhibition, we enabled people to experiment with art, what it means to end violence against women, and how they can create a unity. And one of the very recent campaigns is Ben Kadınım, I'm a Woman campaign. It is going on with Demet Evgar, a UN envoy. Here we created a hashtag, and Demet presented her own manifesto on the banner, on the poster, and it had a huge impact. And this was not a fictitious campaign. Demet Evgar shared it in her own account, and then people understood that actually we were acting together, and it had a huge impact in terms of creating public opinion. It was very impressive. Actually, I followed those campaigns and initiatives as well. As you stated very well, you need to have high engagement on online and offline channels, and you're doing that. You are conducting various projects. So now that we talk about design, let's talk how we design that communication strategy. I'm sure that you're creating a roadmap to access the right audience. That design, that planning helps you reach those audiences in a particular way, but how does it achieve it? And what other targets do you have as part of your future initiatives? Maybe you can briefly touch upon that as well. Sure, sure. Well, I don't know, for us, our team is very attracted to the idea of creating such a billboard or banner, or we say we can get this many engagement or that much engagement, so that we can create public opinion. We get very carried away, and then we say, wait a minute, where does it fit in the strategy? What was our main goal? It is to ensure gender equality, and we have set sub goals or targets, one of which is to ensure development through communication and ensuring gender equality through communication. Therefore, rather than getting carried away, we create actually a tree of wishes. We try to understand what is the main output, what is the main goal. And here, when it comes to wishes, we can, for example, talk about walking on the street without any fear at night time, or we can refer to, for example, letting your child staying out at the age of 15 without having many concerns. Then we create a persona for that goal, and even we give a name, we assign a city to such a persona so that we can dig down. We talk about the sort of problems they experience about themselves, their families, this society, and we look at what the situation is in the country and the world. We address all these challenges from a micro to macro level so that we can address different aspects of gender equality issues. Then we create a change ladder where we can ensure what the sort of change this individual needs to undergo. And we try to find the convenient stakeholders. Why? Because I'm a communication expert, but I'm not working from 9 to 5 on social media. I know that there are such great accounts who do anything on social media, so without collaborating them, we cannot possibly come up with a very innovative or great campaign on social media. Or you may not be able to achieve the desired target without working with the celebrities or influencers. For example, She Said No campaign is a recent one, as you know, and this was the sort of campaign growing with the celebrities. Why did we say She Said No? Because She Said Yes stands right in the middle of a marriage proposal. We turned it into She Said No. And then we determined the stakeholders. As I stated, we created a ladder of change accompanied by a tree of wishes, and then we asked the question of what the actual activity should be. And here, private sector involvement, public sector involvement, and other NGO involvement are critical. And here, according to this strategy, we determine the relevant stakeholders in this wide spectrum. Then the following things, the following steps actually can be explained by the sort of things we listen to in the artificial intelligence session, because everything comes with its own social or gender inequalities. Maybe you know this. If you do not want to suffer from violence in metaverse, they say we can give you a pink phonus. And this is something about discrimination rather than finding a final solution to the issue, because at the end of the day you're not coming up with an equal solution. That's why artificial intelligence is one of the areas we take into account. Also, we want to grow our activities further by collaborating with other nations, other countries, so that we can have cross-country and cross-regional nature of initiatives. This is the main goal in terms of expanding our activities. Thank you very much, Mr. Tayfun, for these insights and information. Thank you for your participation. No, thank you. Thank you for your participation. It has been a great session. Now we're back to Serdar in the studio.